with it, I do want to point out here, since we just flashed that and we're going to be starting to do some full throttle tuning, we want to jump down here at the bottom of our parameters, and we want to go and check on our knock base, and we want to check on our knock VAR, our knock change, knock dynamics. That should be enough here to take a look at what's going on with some of our knock information. We also have in here, we should also have in our racks patch knock sum, so we can see what's going on with our knock sum as well. All right, that should be enough to start our logging off with here to evaluate doing our full throttle tuning. So let me fire it up right now, and then we'll set the dyno up here, and actually we'll do that right now. Let's set the dyno up. We're going to do our pulls here from 3,000 to 8,200. We're going to rev it out pretty high and figure out where we're at here for power on our first pull. We've lowered down the timing. I didn't mention that. We did that in the first video. We've lowered it down by probably about 6 to 8 degrees from the pump gas timing values that we had in the stock file here, the equivalent file that we're working with. So we scaled that down. We have our low and high octane spark timing tables scaled down. We have our fuel here probably pretty close to do a pull. If it leans out, I have a wideband here. I'm going to lift out of it so I don't damage the engine. We'll have to go and look at the data log and add fuel as needed. But we should find that we are focused and we are on the wastegate spring. We've zeroed out our boost target. We set those to 0. We zeroed out our wastegate duty cycle base table. That's zeroed out. So we have no contribution from our boost solenoid to the boost. We should find we're on wastegate spring. So this is, again, just kind of sorting out and feeling out where we're at in the calibration process so we can move forward in turning up the boost. So let's go here, fire it up here. I'm gonna let it run for a split second and then just stabilize the idle, and then we'll continue on to do our pull here. So let's fire it up. All right, let's click logging here. We're online. We see our trims are active, air fuel's working. Let me throw my headphones on. We'll do our first pull. Again, we're going to be, if anything looks unsafe, I'm going to lift out of it, but we'll evaluate this and take a look at what is going on with our fuel or spark, our knock control, and start to make some changes and start to make some evaluations of what we need to do here. All right, let's do our pull. Looked a little lean. I just lifted out of it real quick. Let's stop our data log here. Shut it off. Let me key back on. Let's quickly take a look at our dyno graph just so we can kind of see what power it made. 220 torque, 277 horse. So it's conservative right now, but it was a little lean. Let's take a look at our data here that we just logged in our Megalog viewer so we can make some updates. So let's do Control O. And we're going to look for our last time stamping in our data log. We're going to click open. Use our down arrow here. It's going to focus us into our pool. Now, it doesn't look like our data right there. It doesn't look like our data log here. Let's just double check something real quick. As our pool was definitely longer than that. Let's see here. Let's double check. It looks like we didn't grab the last log. This is the last log, not here. Just shifted it over in my logging list here. That is our data log right there. We can see the white, our engine RPM is going up. So we're going to be looking at a few different things here when we're evaluating full throttle. One, we want to have engine speed. That's in our white. These are up here a little bit further. We want to look at boost pressure. This is registering what the boost went to. So in this case, 12 pounds. Now the owner said he had about 10, 12 pound springs in. We're building about 12. That sounds about right. So that looks like it's correct. Now this load reading that we're seeing in boost is coming from our 4-bar. This is giving us further confirmation that the 4-bar is scaled right because it's showing a reasonable boost pressure when we're looking at this. If we saw some kind of an odd value, we might not have it set up right, but in this case, this looks good. Let's jump in here and take a look at our Evo 10 AFR air. This is looking at a difference between our wideband reading and our actual target air fuel. So looking here, we see that it's lean. 2,700 or so, roughly 0.88 pounds of boost, almost 1 pound of boost. We're at about 12% or so. As we get into boost here, we're about 17% off, 14, 11. So we need to add some more fuel. That's why I lifted out of it. It looked a little lean. If we're actually taking a look at our actual air fuel here, if we look at our air fuel, we see the air fuel when we're trying to start a runoff here is 14.3. We should be closer to 13, 12.8. And then if we get in here to boost, air fuel is 13.3, we should be about 11.4. That's where it's calculating this percentage. That's how far we're off from the actual air fuel. So the AFR error makes it easy. We don't need to look at the wideband, what it's reading in our data logs. We just need to pay attention to the AFR error. It's just going to be streamlining this process. It's kind of simplifying it. Just so we find, just the same way we find our combined fuel trim combines our short and long term. It does the math for us. We don't need to go and actually calculate it. We can just look at the data. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.